Connor, you're doing the intro again.
Oh, I am? Okay, sweet. You're listening to Vox Cascadia as the guys discuss a fun tournament over the weekend and the existential dread that we're all having today on Election Day.
Thanks, Connor. Yeah, I'd like to shout out to our listeners across the world. It's election day in the US and it's kind of a weird day. So this might be a weird
Mm-hmm.
podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Tensions are high. We're all hopeful for a better, brighter future ahead of us.
Yeah, so our listeners in United Kingdom, Denmark, Canada, Germany, New Zealand, Norway, Australia. We got like a little bit in Finland, Peru, Poland, Netherlands, Russia, Italy, Singapore, UAE, Belgium, Portugal, Spain. Just all y'all out there, just pray for us here in the U.S. because, sorry that we're uh, sorry about what's going on here. So, but what's going on with y'all, Connor? What have you been up to?
Not a ton, really. Just painting a bunch of, or not painting, rather, but building a bunch of my Mechanicum guys from Horus Heresy.
That's right. You got the new big robot box, and so you looking to play some 30K, or you and just giving up on Kill Team because your robots suck in Kill Team?
No, I'm not giving up on Kill Team. Still gonna play some Kill Team. Had some fun over the weekend with Hand of the Archon. But yeah, just figured I'll give 30K a try because robots are fun, and why not bring more big bots?
Somebody else
Yeah,
had
I
a fun weekend with Hand of the Archon too.
I did. It was all because Connor couldn't show up to our tournament, even though he was in town. So to fill his place, I was playing Hand of the Archon this weekend at our little tournament, and it was a blast. I had a
Yeah,
really good time.
For the record, I was never in town. I was in Portland, which is nearby, but we
It's
both
like
drove
30
in
minutes
and
away.
left on Saturday. It's like an
You could have done the
hour.
same thing. Same
it's like
thing.
30 minutes.
It's like 30 minutes from the tip of Portland. I drive it nearly every day. I know. 45 in traffic. But
Yeah,
you drive fast.
Does Connor drive fast? Does Connor drive?
Just barely.
I do drive, and yes, I drive a little speedy. I like to do like 10 over in the left lane.
I mean, 10 over is fine, but I don't know about 10 over in the left lane. That's
Well, if someone gets behind me and they're going fast, I'll move over to the right lane. I'm definitely a left lane driver.
well. Besides the big election in the United States, we have another election. Since Connor didn't make the tournament, we've decided to vote him off the podcast. So we'll be doing a poll to see who will be taking his place on the podcast. We appreciate your time. Thank you for everything you've given to us, Connor.
Well, you know what? That's understandable. I'm glad to have helped all that I have, and I wish the next who's ever replaced me some good luck.
Well, it
Uh,
won't be hard to replace you. So
oh, man. It's getting cold in here.
I'm just kidding, Connor. We love you. We could never replace you. How could we?
No.
How
We,
could
we
we
need your
ever?
youthful enthusiasm.
Exactly. There's no one else young enough that you can drag into this hellhole, Chuck, and bully as much as me.
I don't
bring
know.
a,
I'm sure I could find someone.
I bring a certain je ne sais quoi or whatever the expression is.
I agree. I think that's why you were the person for this in the first place. So
Well, thank you.
Well, so we did have a tournament this past weekend. It was a 16-player tournament, so kind of a smaller one for us where we wanted to get some people together to play some third edition games because it was our first third edition tournament. And then we also want to get Emily some games because she's headed off to Worlds at the middle of this month. And so we wanted to put down a gauntlet for her to run through. And spoiler alert, she did great. She won the whole thing.
yeah, absolutely. It was a really good event. Overall, just a lot of fun. Definitely like pointed out some of the weak spots in third. But overall, I would say it went incredibly smooth. It was a lot of our most competitive and regular players at the event overall. So, people were pretty self managed as we explored this edition together.
I don't know. I think it was lawless and chaos, and luckily I was there with the rules, the judging to keep everything
Mm-hmm.
in check.
Absolutely. That's 100% actually what happened there. Chuck ran it with an iron fist. It was like, times were coming up. He was like screaming them out. He's like, dice down at people, yellow cards getting passed out. It was a sweaty event, hardcore.
Yeah, I'm not more than once I just like swept entire boards off the table and said you're done. So it was I mean that's how I run stuff. That's how I do things.
Yeah, Iron Fist Chuck.
No, it was I did get pulled into a couple different rulings. I didn't have too much as Tyler pointed out. I kind of looked bored most of the time, but like I also said too, it was really nice to not have to worry about a bunch of stuff and to just kind of be in the environment of Kill Team, and I get to like just kind of poke around and watch a bunch of different games and see how people were doing, and it was a really good time. It was actually very relaxing.
Yeah, it was really good to get to play this many games with like a competitively focused crowd back to back so early in the edition. Like I feel like so much more confident than I did a week ago with the game.
Well, we always say that the best way to learn Kill Team and to get into it is to just go to a tournament and play a bunch of games in a row. So it's nice we got to do that. Speaking of that, we do have another tournament coming up on December 7th. It's our White Elephant tournament. There's still some tickets left for it. So it's everybody gets a present who goes to it, and so everybody will walk away with something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good time. You're going to get a lot out of it and a lot of good games, a lot of community. Should be a blast. Like nice, tight, three tournament round, 3 tournament day, 3 round tournament day. It's going to be good.
There it is. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about your tournament action there, Tyler. So round one, who did you match into?
I matched into Tristan with Hyrotech Circle. We were on Into the Dark, and that's the first time I played Into the Dark on this edition, and um, it was a lot of posturing round one, just moving in, um, not really wanting to push too far, either of us. I got initiative turning point 2, and kind of that's where everything kicked off. I pushed my Disciple Yolindra, which is the poison grenade person, right up to a door up front that was open. And from there, I threw a poison grenade and it hit 3 people. It did a lot of wounds to them, like 2 to 3 on most of them. And then from there, I shot my Stinger pistol because they had 3 APL, and it blew up the Apprentech. From there, the Apprentech blew up and did quite a few wounds to the just an Immortal, and then also the Cryptech. Um, that was pretty hard for him to crawl back from, and Hand of the Archon just kind of bullied from then on. I used Confirm Kill, and since they just keep dropping them, I was able to kind of just keep him trapped in the same area and repeatedly cash in on those tokens, and got I think finished with 17 to 3 at the end of the game.
Yeah, you brought confirm kill to or kill confirm or whatever it is to pretty much all your rounds, didn't you?
Yeah, it seems to work pretty good. The mobility, and just the matchups I had, it's solid. I haven't really experimented too much with the other ones. Plant Beacon looks really good. I think I'm gonna flex into that. But generally, I'm wanting to be killing and like moving in on people. So, and I'm an aggressive player, so confirm kill is really my style.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were taking that. A lot of people were taking Plant Beacon as well too. And also, when you're playing into Hyrotech, they die and then they drop a confirm kill token, and then they come back up, and then when you kill them again, they drop another one. So there's a lot of opportunity. I
Yeah.
think you can get like 4 of them off the leader, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's just a lot of opportunities to get those tokens out for me, and with me, my ability to just kind of push in and control the board, I was able to score more primaries and stuff like that. And with the early kind of damage that I inflicted to his entire team, it really put him on his back foot early on. I don't think he expected first the grenade to go off and do that well, and then on top of it, the Stinger pistol with its new profile is just absolutely devastating. If you're not expecting Hand of the Archon to shoot you a lot, you're expecting them to fight. They're going to do both. to you.
Well, I know we for this tournament we ran 4 Volcus, we ran 4 Into the Dark, and we ran all the GW maps to make sure it's the most like Worlds as possible. And it was interesting because I saw on a lot of the open maps, people would take I saw like a heavy barricade here and there. I saw quite a few ladders, but it seemed like everybody who was playing Into the Dark was taking the 2 light barricades because the GW Into the Dark maps are like there's some wide open areas. Did you take light barricades when you played Into the Dark? And how many Into the Dark games you had? I
Yeah.
think was that your only one?
Yeah, I think it was my only one that I had. I played open for my other 2 games after that. So um, Into the Dark is it's definitely something right now. We set up the worst looking maps also just in case those ones were there, so that there was some practice on those so that people were used to these less than desirable maps currently.
What do you so the one Into the Dark game you had, did it feel much different than the last version or last edition, or did it kind of just feel the same and you hated it as much as before?
I hate it as much as before. I mean, like, it was a pretty like steady win for me. I think that with how pain tokens work, and like how they're generated, this edition, Hand of the Archon doesn't have as much problem on Into the Dark. Um, I don't think that like Into the Dark is like the worst. It's like playable. It's just not my favorite, you know?
Connor, have you had a chance to play much Into the Dark in this edition yet?
Yes, I have. It's definitely interesting with how big the maps are. I've felt a lot of what you were saying, where people bring light barricades. I brought both. On the few times I've played it, I brought both the light barricades and for about half of them the portable barricade.
How do you feel? What do you feel about the portable barricade rather than the heavy barricade? Did you move the portable barricade much?
Oh yeah, big time. With an infiltrator, and I imagine probably anyone else that can bring a silent weapon, the portable barricade is hilarious because you can just essentially have a sure they're slightly slower, but a concealed behind cover guy is still shooting and still able to tap the objectives and everything.
Now you said you played some Hand of the Archon this weekend too, or Hand of the Admech, or whatever the heck they're going to be. Are you finally off the robots and moving on? And is this the team that you've been kit bashing?
I wasn't using the one I've been kit bashing because they're still half done. I was just borrowing a friend of mine's Hand of the Archon. But yeah, I played one game of them and they were a really good time. Even though I got completely stomped, it was a very enjoyable experience.
So you've won like one game this entire edition so far.
I think I won like 3
Out
of the
of how
like
many?
15 I've played. It's not been
Oh,
a great time. I was slamming my head against the wall with Hunter Clay for quite a while.
You've had a lot of games already. That's impressive.
Yeah, trying to get in. Well, because we had our tournament over in Tacoma Games a while ago, about not last weekend, 2 weekends ago. So that got me 3, and then I played like roughly 2 or 3 games each week since it's come out.
now just in general consensus, how do y'all feel about this edition? Because I talked to a few players at the tournament who will remain nameless, and they were not really big on this, and it may be the team that they love that didn't translate over and was a meta team from the previous edition, but they they feel it's really unbalanced, that the teams are very unbalanced as well as the tac ops are very unbalanced. But Tyler, what do you think so far with we've got what 5 or 6 games under your belt?
Yeah, so I'm at like what, probably 9 games total now. Um, and I think that the bones are really good. I think that some of the tac ops really need work. Some of them are just not good. I'd probably never take them. I can't point out any on the top of my head because I don't know what they all are. I haven't have all memorized. Um, like some of the secondaries are rough. And I'm not sure about 3 objectives, honestly. I think it kind of makes the game a little snowbally. But like the bones are really good. Some of the stuff that's been cleaned up, like the way obscuring works and things like that, feel good. It just like simplifies the game rather than having to do a bunch of checks here and there, whether they're actually like, can you shoot them? Is it non-reciprocal? Stuff like that. It's not as huge of an issue, and it just kind of speeds things up. The new teams, their dynamics work really good, and I hope that we see maybe Legionaries toned down a bit because they feel a bit aggressive.
Connor, what do you think so far with this third edition? Your 15 games and 3 wins.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler for the most part. I think the bones are really solid. I'm liking where it's at, and there's definitely a bit of a learning curve of learning all new tac ops because like of those 20-ish, 15-ish games I've played, I think I've maybe played tac ops like correctly 4 times. And then, of course, all the new modes, everyone's learning them together, so there's going to be strategies to them. That's just going to take some time. But I definitely agree with what some of the players are saying. Where right now it feels extremely unbalanced. At least in my opinion, of like teams like playing against Legionary and Warp Coven just feels like an impossible task, and other teams just feel like, why is this team the play the way it does? Like personally, Hunter Clade, there's a lot of stuff I'm like, there was a reason this was the way it was in Kill Team 21, and it should have stayed that way for Kill Team 24. Otherwise, stuff like Pathfinders, they just seem so nerfed into the ground. Breachers feel pretty weak, and from what I've looked at them and stuff. So I think this game is in a good bone state. It just needs, a balanced patch or two to really kind of get back to the enjoyment I had of Kill Team 21. Which, of course, that took some time to get there as well.
Well, let's talk about the boogeyman of this edition,
Mhm.
one of the big teams, Legionaries. And Tyler, you went into Matt Small and his Legionaries in round two.
Yeah, I did. And it was a really good game against Matt. I came out on top with it. It was again turning point two. I took initiative there. He had moved up to the. We were playing loot. He moved up to the center objective and dropped his grizzly trophy on it. Um, I ran my flare up into his Shrive Talon and his what was it? His Balefire, who were right there, and I kind of double charged them, and then I took the point. From there, the Balefire fought my Flare, and I was able to hit a crit on it and pass a pain token off, which then from there, he shot uh, my what was it? The Crimson Duelist, trying to life siphon it, and healed himself up just a little bit, but not enough to do anything. But my Crimson Duelist survived with enough and the pain token. So then on their activation, they healed themselves and charged up and finished off the Balefire, and then did a fight into the uh, Shrive Talon. It was able to put a little bit of damage onto the Shrive Talon after that, and from there, I was able to just kind of stay ahead on primaries and push back. And I ended up taking the win. I think it was 16 to 12 for Hand at the Archon.
Yeah, it's a good win for you. And they're, like I said, Legionaries are kind of the big bad of this edition so far. And but what I've heard though is that Hand of the Archon are kind of a counter to them, and it seemed like that worked out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely like a tough matchup. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff coming from Legionaries at you. I was able to just kind of utilize, my pain tokens really well. Being able to kind of push him on the loot and then kind of stall his advance on that side, let me have a little bit more control of the flow of the game from there. I was able to keep some, people like clean and like clear where they were able to move up and do their loot and get in position to do other objectives the following turns. And so I think it just worked in my benefit there. I think with Legionaries, I think there is counterplay. It's rough, but like it's about controlling the tempo in which you are playing against them.
Connor, have you had the honor to run into Legionaries or any of the elite teams yet in your quest in third edition of getting your ass kicked the entire time?
Yes, I have. I haven't yet played into Warp Coven, but I have played into Legionaries once, and yep, ignoring piercing, who would have thought would be kind of problematic. Definitely true. And then I've that on top of the gain a bajillion command points per turn. I've also fought Angels of Death a couple times. Angels of Death feels, strong, but I feel like they're relatively balanced overall. I've played both as and against them, so I think there's a little bit of strength to them, but I think it's more so like other teams are weaker than them, which makes them feel so strong. But yeah, Legionaries definitely need a touching hand or something.
Now, one thing I feel like is that we heard a lot when this edition was announced and before we'd gotten our hands on it about how losing initiative was not that bad anymore because you got 2 command points. But everything I kind of heard from the tournament and like it seemed like winning initiative in turn 2, especially Tyler, was super important for you. Tyler, do you think that
Mhm.
that was kind of overblown as far as like the extra command point and winning initiative is still just a huge deal?
I mean, I think with 3 objectives, winning initiative is going to again allow you to control a lot of the tempo. I think I won initiative, turning point 2 in all of my games. So, and I won all of my games. I think that Emily also won initiative, turning point 2 in all of her games. So, I'm not saying that they weren't close games, but that right now just allows so much to happen, especially if you have APL to pass out to someone,
Connor, what about you? Have you felt the difference with winning initiative versus losing it and getting the 2 CP versus the 1 command point previously?
Yeah, getting the 2 command points is definitely nice, but I still just think overall, winning initiative is better 95% of the time. It's dropped from like 99% to like 95 now.
Well, so
Yeah,
it's a
and
little
like
bit better.
CP is like not something that like Hand of the Archon struggles with. Like they are definitely CP hungry, but I tend to have 6 CP at the end of turning point or at the beginning of turning point 2, which allows me to do a lot of things.
Well, I haven't had a much chance to play into that to really see how the initiative works out. I've got some games lined up this week, but so that was the end of round 2 for Tyler, and I actually in the middle of between round 2 and 3, I actually did some interviews with a couple people. So right now you'll hear from Meg, who brought Aquilons. You'll hear from Tyler's round 2 opponent Matt, and then you'll hear from Emily too. So uh, let's hear some interviews real quick. All right, I'm here with Meg.
Hello.
How's the tournament so far?
Good. I surprisingly won my first game
Yeah, good job.
because I normally do very bad because I
Yeah.
play against Tristan and Josh.
Yeah.
And they bully me.
How'd game 2 go though?
I only lost by 2.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fabi's a beast with the
Yeah.
Hand of the Archon too. So
First game was nasty though.
yeah, well we appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
So question is, why are AdMech awesome?
Because they're non-binary icons.
It's a good answer. I like that. Connor will like that too. So
Screw the flesh.
screw the flesh.
Become ambiguous being.
Awesome. Well, good luck in your next game.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we're here with Matt Small.
Howdy.
How's the games going so far? You won first game, right?
Yeah, one lost my second one against Tyler.
Yeah, that looked like it was pretty bloody.
Yeah, I was down to a couple of Marines left, like turn 3, and kept losing initiative.
Yeah,
So
well, I looked over there and I saw that. Yeah, you were down 4 Marines, but then all of a sudden Tyler was down a bunch of guys too. Did you?
yeah, we had a really bloody turn 2 where a lot of stuff died on both sides. But yeah, then there are a couple of misplays I made, and mostly like losing the initiative meant that like Hand of the Archon can kill Marines, so like kept losing Marines at the top of turns. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So Connor wants to know, why are AdMech awesome?
So I think there's a couple of things I like about AdMech. I think my favorite thing is I think they have some of the best puns in the game. Engine Seer is a personal favorite of mine. But also, like, one of my favorite lore things in the game is, like, the Imperium's, like, regression of technology where they don't understand how their own stuff works anymore, and it's all, like, the instructions for maintenance have become rituals.
Yeah.
You're, burning incense and then, turning your lug nut left to the twice or whatever.
Well, the good news is people seem to think AdMech are awesome even if they suck in this edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Well, good luck in your next game.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
So I'll start with why AdMech are awesome. I like cyborgs. I play a lot of Cyberpunk. It's my TTRPG I run. They're cyborgs. It's cool. That's awesome. It's a thing I've always personally loved. So hats off to AdMech for that. Dark AdMech, very cool as well.
Dark AdMech are cool, yeah.
I'm a Chaos fan.
Yeah. So in tournament so far, you're 2-0?
Yep, 2-0. First game, who did I play? First game I played Shay. It was really, really, really close.
Yeah, you won by 1?
Yeah, I won by 1 point. Her rocket launcher killed like 3 or 4 of my guys, and I just couldn't touch it because of a Midnight Cloud. Very well played by her.
Yeah.
That thing was a monster. Second game, I played Hand of the Archon, and I think it's a matchup weighted in my favor. Playing Legionnaire is really good. And I can just one-tap them with like several operatives, and I'm really hard to put down for them.
The Archon or Mandrakes?
Sorry, Mandrakes. Yeah. Hand of the Archon's a real problem for me.
Hand of the Archon's next, though.
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't want to play Hand of the Archon. It's such a hard team to face.
Yeah.
But Mandrakes, not really a problem.
Yeah.
And I rolled very well. So that certainly helps.
Yeah, good.
Hand of the Archon will be very tough to put down.
Yeah.
Need to get good initiative.
Well, so far, we've got Tyler's 2-0, Fabi's 2-0, you're 2-0.
Yep.
Looks like you'll match up to Fabi, though.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, cool.
All right, well.
How you feeling about Worlds?
I'm anxious.
Yeah.
Worlds is a lot. I have to travel for it.
Yeah.
It's a little frightening.
Yeah. Well, you'll do great.
Thanks.
We're all
appreciate
super
it.
excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you, Meg, Matt, Emily, for joining us. I really enjoyed doing the in the moment interviews with people. So hopefully I'm going to do some more of those as tournaments come up, like maybe the December 7th tournament, the Red Gobbo Vacation Duel 2 at Deathtona. Tickets are still available. You'll find them in the description. So Tyler, round 3, you played into Kit and her Aquilons, and it's one of the new teams, so I was excited to see them play, and it was a real tight game, and I was kind of surprised because I haven't heard much about the Aquilons, but you won by a point, right?
1 point, or no, 3 points, I think it was. There, it was incredibly close. Kit's an incredible player. I think one of our best in the region. Consistently shows out top tables there. Just a threat top to bottom. Any team she plays, which it's a new team every week. It seems like, so you never know what she's going to bring to the table. And it was tense. There was trading back and forth. I can't think of a single moment that like stood out where I felt like I was ahead ever. I think I just barely eked it out with like I think again it was primaries that I was able to do. I think there's one turn where no one scored any primaries. I think it was turning point 3, but just an incredibly tight game. Just like no margin for error. Just like a lot of clean play. She ended up with I think just her sergeant alive at the end, and I had three dudes running around doing stuff.
So what did you think? Had you played into the Aquilons yet, or was that your first game with them? What'd you think of the team? Because from what I've heard, they are kind of they drop in, they shoot their shot, and then they kind of stand there and get killed.
I think that there's a lot of play with them. I think that they have like a lot of flexibility. Like you don't have to just drop in and get shot. You can do other stuff. You can move around. You can take cover. You can prepare for fuging. But like it doesn't allow you to, it allows you to hold back your hand. And I think people are really underestimating how good that is, especially in the hands of a skilled player, to kind of adapt what they're going to do at any given moment. At the end of turning point 2, when everyone's on the board finally, it gets rough because like. That melt is going to drop in where you don't want it to unless you've kind of avoided that area specifically. And a good player is going to push up and give themselves a lot of room because that's what the team's made to do,
Yeah, I was actually surprised that we had, out of 16 players, we had 3 people playing Aquilons. We didn't have any Vespid players, which was kind of a bummer, but we had 3 people with that team. We had Kit, Meg, and I think it was Holly brought the other one, and so it was kind of cool. It's a team I'm interested in playing, so I tried to watch them, and yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of like dropping in and blowing stuff up. Connor, have you had a chance to play against that team yet?
Actually, no. I've yet to fight either Vespids or the Aquilans, which is not what I was expecting.
Have you been working on either of those? Because I know when they announced it, you were gonna be all Aquilons, and I was gonna make the Vespids, and we were gonna fight.
I have started clipping out the Aquilans, but honestly, haven't really done a ton of work on them yet. I've been trying to figure out Honor Clade for most of Kill Team 24.
Is it time to? Can we just like here and now put the Hunter Clade away until maybe the balanced data slate at
I
least?
think that is the case. I sadly have probably dropped the team until they get some serious balanced data slates.
So who's Hunter or who's Hand of the Archon did you borrow?
My friend Mats. He's a local guy to our friendly local game store.
Are you working on your Hand of the Archon team, or is there another team you're thinking of now that Hunter Clade is officially dead?
Aquilans a little bit, just because they look kind of fun. Hand of the Archon, kind of, if I want to be competitive. But I honestly just haven't done a ton of Kill Team in the last like week beyond kind of playing.
So are you coming to December 7th tournament? You have a team you're bringing to that?
I'm gonna be trying to make it to that tournament, and I do have a team, but what team? No clue.
Well, do you have a team?
I mean, I can get a team to play, but I don't have like a firm decision yet. I can
Gotcha.
always
Do you have a
bring.
concept of a team?
I have concepts of a team.
It's too close. It's too close tonight,
Sorry.
guys.
Worst case scenario,
No,
I have my Angels of Death. I'll bring Chuck just for you, buddy.
All right, good. Tyler, Emily won. She
hmm
beat
hmm
actually what was her win path? I know she started off. Let's see, hold on, I
What it
gotta
was?
pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
So she ended up beating Fabi in the final. So Fabi with Hand of the Archon as well. So let's see. Emily started off against Shayla, and it was Legionaries versus Nemesis Claw, and Emily only won by 1 point actually versus Shayla's Nemesis Claw. So that was a pretty tough matchup. I guess she was saying that the in Midnight Clad kind of fucked her pretty hard. Game 2 for Emily was versus Hunter and Mandrakes, and she actually won 21-5 against Hunter. And Hunter's a good player, but Emily cleaned up in that one. And then the final game was against Fabi and Fabi's Hand of the Archon, and that was Emily 19 and Fabi at 11. So she had a good tournament run. Got herself the starter box for when that comes out. So we'll get that to her, and hopefully she got some good tune up for Worlds.
Yeah, yeah. It was a really fun event. I think we may be doing more small practice events or like little maybe cats team events or something like that. It was nice just having like a quick 3 rounder, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. I think 4 rounds is good, but it's also real long. And we got the advantage of daylight savings, so we got to get there a little late. We were still out by 7 o'clock too, which was nice. A tight 3 games in 7 hours with some quick little breaks there. First round took a little while, but then by the end of the game, we were done. I think all games were done like an hour 45 in the third round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there, a couple games that ran to time throughout the event, but overall play was pretty fast. I do want to see like people focusing on like fast, clean play, finishing your games in 2 hours. You know.
Yeah, I don't think we had a couple games that went kind of over time, but they were also big. I think bigger and more complex teams versus bigger and more complex teams, and started the edition. So,
Yeah,
like I said, by
absolutely.
the third round though, everybody was done like an hour 45. We were all buttoned up and ready to head out. Tyler, you got any last thoughts on the tournament besides Connor not showing up?
I'm just looking forward to December. I think you and I are both planning on playing for that one, so that should be good.
I'm gonna try. I missed it last year, and I was really bummed. So I'm excited to get a shot at it this year. And just while it was nice to like hang out and watch games, it would have been fun to play. I was kind of hoping we would have odd numbers, and I'd be able to jump in. But I was glad to be able to help facilitate and let you get a tournament in, because I don't think you haven't even played in one of our tournaments since the tag team tournament last, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Tag team was the last one. Like 1 to 2 tournaments a year, maybe 4 if I'm really lucky.
Yeah, you got anything? You got anything on the calendar? I'm going to Adepticon, and I'm trying to finagle Las Vegas Open. But what about you, Tyler? You got anything coming up?
My work's really been in flux. I think I'm going to start looking for a new job. So until maybe I secure one of those, or picks up, I win the lottery. Something like that. We get that big podcast money, influencer money. We'll see.
Yeah, so far that podcast money's not coming in though. But maybe you join the corporate world. The 9 to 5 Monday through Fridays, not the worst.
That it scares me, man.
Yeah, but it's also nice to
Yeah, and reliability is nice.
yeah. So Connor, what about you? Is the U.S. government hiring?
They're always hiring Chuck, but yeah. In turn, I'm hoping to maybe go to LVO this year. It might just be a very low key thing for me to just go fly in day of or like the evening before, and then fly out essentially same day it closes. But it'd be a cool experience. And then of course trying to make down to December to visit you wonderful people and maybe get a game in against you guys.
Yeah, always trying to leave the events like right as they end, like first one out of the building every time.
Yeah, that way he doesn't have to help like break down stuff.
Yep, that's definitely the reason.
Mhm.
And then he leaves his shirt there, and then I get to do a little fashion show.
True. I need it. I should have made it down just this weekend, regardless, to grab that shirt from you.
Have you ever not left something at an event?
I honestly think so. Yeah, because I know I left the insulin that one, but I think my very first one where I went down and like very first KTC, I didn't leave anything, and then I don't think I left anything at Tacoma last year.
Well, now he's just gotten comfortable, and he just leaves his shit everywhere.
Exactly. I'm like a little rat.
You
Do
make
rats?
yourself at home.
I guess rats leave shit everywhere too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know like what creatures leave things.
Well, gentlemen, what do you got coming up this week? Anything? I'm playing tomorrow night at Contrarian Games in Salmon Creek. I'm gonna hook up with Spencer, and I think he's trying out his Wormblade. So I think I might just bring Angels of Death since his team will be complicated, and I don't have to worry about messing around with Casterkin. You guys playing this week, or you got anything going on?
I got a wedding I'm going to this weekend, so my Friday and Saturday and most of Sunday's kind of shot, but I'm hoping to get a game in on Thursday.
Do you think we'll see
I'll
the
be
Death Guard rules this weekend?
hopefully. I really hope so.
Well, rumor is that the cutoff for Worlds is, I think, Friday. So I think Saturday or Sunday. I wonder if we get the rules, or you think they'll just push it to next week? They've been dragging this out. The
Mhm.
box comes out this week, comes out Saturday. I hope they actually drop the rules this weekend, though.
God, I want the full rules so badly. Show it to me, Rachel.
We may get lucky and get them tomorrow, just because when they dropped third edition rules or across the board, they were all on a Wednesday. So maybe we'll get very lucky and they'll drop it like 4 days in advance again, and then we can all speculate tomorrow.
Man, I could use the distraction from the upcoming lawsuits regarding the election. Please drop the rules tomorrow, GW.
Yeah, I don't think they will though. Sorry to burst your bubble about that, but especially since the rules cutoff for Worlds is Friday. I don't think they want anybody to be able to bring them to Worlds is the problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, gentlemen, keeping it nice and tight, and we're gonna get back to doom scrolling for the election, and hopefully by the time this comes out, the results are finalized and it went the way we wanted to. So, thank you for joining us. As I mentioned, Red Gobbo Vacation Duel at Deathtona is going to be December 7th at Shiv Games in Kaiser, Oregon. It's going to be a 32 player tournament. We're gonna have uh, uh, probably at least 6 Volcus boards and then some other stuff. I know I've got 2, Tyler's got 2, and we both got 2 to work on. It's again a white elephant
I still
tournament,
need to
so
get my other one from.
you got one more coming too. I thought you so so is
Yeah,
that what it's at?
I
Was
have
that
to get
what
it from Jeremy. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think
yeah,
Jeremy Cosner is going to have his, so we'll have at least 7 or 8. But it'd be a fun third edition tournament. Again, another 3-round
yeah.
tournament. But we'll have the white elephant gift exchange. So when you come in, everybody gets a present, and then you don't unwrap it. If you win, you can take the present from your opponent, or you can hang on to yours, and then at the end we'll unwrap them all, and whoever wins the tournament will get a chance to steal the best one too.
Yeah, well, the best one, the box they like the most, it won't get unwrapped until the end. So
Yeah, so we've got that coming up. Tyler, any new shirt news?
I think I'm going to be picking up the nerd shirts, so the Burger Baby designs here next day or two, and then I will be passing those out at the next event. So anyone who who ordered theirs wants to pick them up, they can get them then, and then shipping before that if you ordered it for shipping. So you actually may get it sooner if you get it shipped this time.
Well, and you've got some. I think you mentioned last week you got some backstock or some overstock on dicero.bigcartel.com.
Yeah, a little bit of backstock. It's getting pretty low there. Very very limited sizes. If you guys want any of the designs that you've missed out on, that's probably your only chance to get them before I maybe do a run next year of these designs. Maybe not. We'll see what the demand is for them. So
Cool. I'm at Painted Cave Minis on Instagram. You can find us at CascadiaTabletop.com. Connor's at Spanaway on everywhere. We're at Vox Cascadia. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, all that stuff. Connor, who's the wedding for? Are you getting you're hitched? It's not for you.
Yeah, that's. I've been hitched. It's been pretty enjoyable. No, the wedding's for one of CR's friends.
Where's it at? You staying local up there? Is there
No, it's somewhere Eastern Oregon-ish, I believe.
Oh, is there gonna be a warm bed over there?
I mean, the one I'm sleeping in, yeah.
Oh, so you've got a warm bed too.
I mean, yeah, I'm a very warm person.
Is that right on the family then?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if my mom's a warm sleeper or not.
Okay, we can ask Brandon.
I hate you.